let's get into this. There are three people in last night's Phillies game that really pissed me off. I'm going to start at the bottom of this list. All right, so the person that pissed me off the least, JT Realmuto. I'm at a point where give him a break, give him a week off, go with Stubbs. I don't know what he can do at this point with JT Realmuto, but he started out the season hot, and then he has cooled off dramatically. Multiple times over this Phillies stretch, he has come to the plate with runners in scoring position, or he's come to the plate even with the bases loaded, and he has failed to capitalize for this team. Last night, you at least got him up at the plate with the bases loaded in a one-out situation, and he grounded out to the shortstop and got an RBI ground out. Whoopee! Before that, he has an opportunity where he comes to the plate with the bases loaded with one out, and he grounds into an inning-ending double play. It has happened time and time again with JT Realmuto at the plate. You can't afford for him to then be average at best behind the plate. So offensively, we could talk about his numbers and how he's struggling in that regard. Defensively, we should never be talking about JT Realmuto riding the struggle bus. And the perfect example of that, obviously, is the ninth inning drop of the foul ball off the bat of Aguilar before he ended up hitting the game-winning ball into right field. But that's a ball that he always catches. He can't afford in that position to drop that baseball. But even earlier, he has an opportunity to throw out a runner who had a great jump, Williams did, in that ninth inning. JT Realmuto fires to second base, a low throw, not on the side of the tag. Didi Gregorius couldn't handle it, but he one-hopped it, essentially. And I know it's a quick transition, but a guy that is constantly touted as the best catcher in baseball, let's roll that up for a second and throw that phrase out of the window for a second. But this is a guy that is just underperforming drastically, and you can't afford a guy like him who has been struggling at the plate to also struggle behind the plate as a guy that's supposed to be one of the best catchers in baseball, at least. Wasn't just a bad game. It's been bad games from him from the plate as a hitter, and now you're watching bad games from him behind the plate. Can't afford that, especially in a close ball game, especially when you know in that close ball game, you're going to be handing the ball to Korey Knebel, which brings me to the guy I'm second most pissed at on this list. I'm done. He can't be the closer anymore. And I'm all for trying Sir Anthony Dominguez in that role. And I know he gave up to the home run. I know he gave up a home run last night. I don't care. He's a better pitcher than Korey Knebel and needs to be given the closer's reins. I thought it was interesting last night that after Korey Knebel blew that game, I thought it was interesting that Ruben Amaro Jr. was on the postgame show on NBC Sports Philly, and he said he's either hurt or he's got something else wrong with him. If a player's playing, I'm never going to assume that they're hurt until something comes out. Like, for instance, Zach Eflin, who actually pitched okay. He gave him 4 runs, but he pitched okay. He settled in nicely, right? Had to leave the game because of knee soreness. And after the game, Rob Thompson said, yeah, it was knee soreness. At the time, we're like, why 80 pitches? What the hell's going on here? I'm not going to assume that he's hurt. Turns out that was the case. Korey Knebel, I'm not assuming he's hurt until somebody says, yeah, he's got an issue. Haven't talked to him yet, says Rob Thompson after the game. But I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to catch up with him, and I'm going to let you guys know what's going on. We'll let you hear. There's 2 questions asked of Rob Thompson after the game about Korey Knebel and his closer status from this point on. We'll let you hear from Rob Thompson coming up in a second. But regardless of hurt, regardless of just struggling, whatever it is, the guy can't be the closer anymore. If you look at the Major League Baseball statistics right now, and you look at closers, Korey Knebel's the only guy that has 10-plus saves and more than 15 walks. So it's like he's getting the opportunities. In 25 innings, he's got 16 walks. As a closer, you can't be giving up that many free passes. And his, 4th blown save? What are you doing? Everybody is past the point. We've been past the point of watching Korey Knebel. And you know what? When Joe Girardi was still here and Korey Knebel was at least willing to pitch on the 3-day, work a 3rd day in a row, work a 4th day in a row, I give him credit for that, for at least wanting to take the baseball, because not a lot of pitchers are like that. Full marks for that. Good for you. But maybe he shouldn't be given the baseball in that 9th inning anymore. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm done with watching Korey Knebel in that 9th inning in that closer's role. Rob Thompson, after the game, was asked a couple of times about it. Here's where Rob Thompson stands.
Do you have to consider something different for the 9th inning just because Korey hasn't thrown enough strikes here?
Yeah, I don't know whether Korey was rusty from 3 days off, or there's still something going on. I haven't talked to Korey, but yeah, he wasn't very sharp tonight for sure.
Is that decision to pull him only in the sense that he's your closer and what it can mean, for him?
Yeah, it was tough, and especially an experienced guy like that, and I do trust him, but it just looked really rusty, and I thought it was, we had maybe a better shot with Bilotti at that moment.
Next save situation, is Korey your guy?
We'll discuss it. I haven't talked to Korey about anything or the other relievers. So.
All I need to hear. That's all I need to hear. Korey Knebel is no longer the closer of the Philadelphia Phillies. Did Rob Thompson say that? No. But if he was going to be the closer, Knebel's our guy. That's what I would assume I'd hear from the Phillies manager. That's what I would assume I would hear from the Phillies manager. Knebel still our guy? I still got confidence in Knebel. He's going to be our guy. He's going to be our guy is what I was looking to hear. I didn't hear it. Now I have hope that he actually won't be the guy in the ninth inning if there's a save situation coming up in today's ball game where the Phillies are trying to win a series against the Marlins. Is it possible? Could they win a series against the Marlins? Could they win, what, 4 series in a row? Crossing my fingers. But I just don't need to see in a close ball game Korey Knebel coming out in that ninth inning to try to lock things down. That's what, like, of all the closers, quote unquote, in baseball, Korey Knebel, I think there's about 6 guys that might have, or 7 guys that have more saves than him. Some have as many. But when it comes to the walks, holy pots and pans, my man. That ain't cool. To be in the top 10 of closers as far as saves goes, and then in the top 1 when it comes to walks. That's not good. That's bad. And I don't need that in the ninth inning anymore. Sir Anthony Dominguez, when he first came up and he was throwing fire before he lost all those years due to injury, he was a guy that a lot of people were looking at to take on the closer's role. It has to be rattling around in his mind right now to be able to go into the ninth inning and close things out for the Phillies. I'd love to see him get that opportunity. Even if it's Korey Knebel, he's got a little elbow tweak. We're going to give him a couple days off. He's day to day. Even if it's just that. All right, test run for Sir Anthony Dominguez. Get out there, do your thing. Please. It's like, it's by no means something that's been going on as long, but it's like looking at a guy like Odubel Herrera and just waiting for someone like Mickey Moniak or Matt Vierling even, or last year Adam Hazley before he disappeared off the face of the earth. Yeah, that's a name. And it's like looking back to that and going, just please take the reins. Make the decision easier for the Phillies front office to say, you absolutely 100% can no longer give Odubel Herrera reps. Mickey Moniak's hitting the cover off the ball, whatever. It's just not happening. Well, give Sir Anthony Dominguez that chance. Put him in the closer's role. Or at least, hey, a couple days you're going to be closer. Knebel, you give a couple days up. He's break. He's got a little tweak in the elbow. See what you got. That's what I want to see this Phillies team do today, if the opportunity presents itself.